Hey guys, Tony the Soy Sass, and welcome to the Saturday Smokers Panels Live. It is November 1st, so happy November. And for those people who just had a Halloween, happy Halloween. So today, before I start, gonna unpack our precious tools of butanes. I swear, these butane are not even full. Yeah, they're not even the same weight. So, let me get some butane filled, and then we can start the smoke for tonight. So I had a serious problem. I don't know if you guys hire gardeners or like people that mows your lawns and stuff like that. I do. And pretty much most Massachusetts people who hires turns out to be someone that speaks Spanish. And my gardener has not shown up for weeks, if not months already. They have not shown up for quite a while. Now, not only they didn't show up, they didn't send me a bill either. So I start to have concern of what their whereabouts, as and whether or not they are gonna come and clean my yard for the winter because I have a lot of leaves. Okay, so today, as a practice, as a precaution, I will use my leaf blower backpack, put gasoline there, turn it on, and blow some leaves to the side so that it's not in the way. So when they come, they can pick it up. You know, when it saves their time, and then it saves me a few bucks because they're here obviously by amount of people per hour. So I did that, and first hour was fine. Second hour comes, the backpack ran out of the gasoline. So as a normal person, you put the backpack down, you go get gasoline, and fill it in there. Put a little bit of engine oil in there, and so it'll run. Pour the engine oil in there, and start your crank. Starts it up, stops, and that repeats for the next 2 hours. In between that 2 hours, it was me trying to diagnose why doesn't it start. Because like I didn't do anything wrong with it. I was doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. And so I feel like, oh, maybe it's the mixture's wrong. I carry the whole thing, dump all the gasoline, put in new ones. And this time, don't put any mix. Nope, still doesn't start. It kind of starts and goes, it stops. Starts and stops, starts and stops. So I was like, you know what? Maybe there's a carburetor, an air filter, or something like that. I disassembled the whole thing on the top. Nope, everything looks fine. So continue to crank, stop, then fell out, and then in the end, finally I had it. I was like, what is going on? I went to check out the tubes and stuff like that, and guess what? The tube to the gasoline just pops off in half, and you can see shooting out gasolines everywhere because of all the pressure that's built up in there. Me, who already have a blister from cranking that shit, trying to like, gasoline everywhere. And yeah, finally had it. Turns out it was a broken gasoline tube. So I put that shit away. Cleaning up. There's a lot of cleaning up because all the gasoline's like going all over the place. Put the gasoline in tiny containers and put it in the garage. Order the new tubes so that I can do that sometime next week. So yeah, it was a very anticlimactic day. It was not a fun day. I feel like I went to the gym and just pulled those like uh rowing thing for a whole day. So both my arm hurts. Both my arm hurts. The only thing I got done today is a haircut. That's the only thing I got done today. Okay? Only thing I got done today. So yeah, it was very disappointing. Disappointing. But at least now I get some other thing done, like filling the butane in my lighters. Because all my butanes are due for lighter fluid for butane, and I didn't fill any of them. I don't know if you guys do the same thing. It's like when you fill it, you fill it for every single one of them. When you run out, everything run out at the same time, right? And I've been kind of procrastinated to order things. So I tried a Mediterra cigar today. The owner is from Pittsburgh. Okay, how was it? How was it? All right, now that I'm done with that, if you don't excuse me, if you will excuse me, I'm gonna smoke an ITS. I think I deserve one today. Oof. You know, I was supposed to smoke. Supposed to smoke the Sangre de Toro today. What? I was supposed to smoke this today. I had planned to smoke this Sangre de Toro today, but I really want an ITS today. I really want an ITS today. Have you heard this line? No, I have not. It sounds familiar, but I don't think I have. All right. So, well, the other thing that I got done today, I ordered some cigars because I got an email and said, the Battleborn. Oh, my hands being soft right now, like what, dropping things left and right because I had no strength whatsoever now. It's like cranking the thing all day. Oh my god, my arm hurts. So I have it sounds familiar, but I don't think I know what's it about. If I look it up, I might know, but give me a second. I just started, started. Give me a second. We'll talk about a few things. Ooh, nice. All right, let me look it up. Mediterra. Sounds familiar. Mediterra cigars. Image. That's where it is. Okay, so I am familiar with that name, but I'm not familiar with the cigar. I did see that cigar when I was shopping in Two Guys, and it was on there, but like I didn't get it though. The next time I shop in Two Guys, I'll consider it. Ah, finally, finally, my first cigar of the day, surprisingly. So, I did see some of you has already joined the brand new public Discord. You know what? I'm gonna move that to like here, right here. The public Discord over here. All right. So you know, if you turn on the you know, start using that chat room, start join us in the chat room. Once we get enough people, I might I will be putting out some notifications, news, raffles, giveaways, whatever from that. So I want everybody to, like, once you join there, don't just leave it off. Make sure you have it on so that you know what's going on. Talk to the people over there. That's what the public chat room is for. We had a chat session for quite long yesterday, and I see people on, but they didn't join. So you know, utilize that. This the thing about chat room is the more you utilize it, the more you got to get out of it. So I would really love for you guys to use that chat room, join the Discord. If there was an issue, ping me, say, hey Tony, I got an issue. I cannot use this thing. I try whatever, and it doesn't work or something like that, and we'll try to we'll try to fix it for you. All right. I know the first day some people was having issues with like you can't jump over that 18 plus check thinging. So I turned that off. But yeah, do that. He was at Two Guy today. When were you there? Oh no, that was a while back. I mean, when I shop on Two Guys, I don't go to that store. I actually online because it's a roughly 45-minute drive to an hour drive from me. So I don't usually go out there because it's the next city or next state. It's the next state from me. It's the next state for me. I don't usually go to stores to buy cigars because I buy a lot of cigars. So I majority of the time I just have them shipped to me. Yeah. But today I ordered the Battleborn. I'm kind of happy about it because it's military related, and despite what people said, I like to support it a little bit. Okay, yeah. You know, again, if there's anything, ping me through Instagram or something like that. We can try to diagnose this, what happens. So I go there from Quincy. You need to come in for a Saturday show. I go there from Quincy. You need to come in for a Saturday show. What do you mean by Saturday show? Like, I think they close quite early in the day too. They close quite early in the day. Let me see. Two Guys. I think the shop. Cigar shop. They close at the one that I go is Nashua. I think Nashua, New Hampshire. Yep. And that is they close at 6 p.m. They close at 6. They close at 6. They do Cigar Authority show from 12 to 2 every Saturday. Like inside, outside, I don't know. Like which one. Usually I spend Saturday with my wife until nighttime. That's why when I jump on, it's nighttime. Yeah, Salem's even further from me. So you got, you know, me. You're from Quincy, then you definitely know. I'm all the way to the west in Framingham. For me to go out there is quite a bit of time. But yeah, I spend Saturday with my wife usually until dinner. So that's why I don't go anywhere on Saturday. Saturday is wife day. Now, if they close way later, I will have gone. Like usually when my friend comes down on a weekend, I will just would you take $4.95? No, I will take 90 and then 95. 495 is a crazy place to drive. People does not follow the law. Like people does not drive normally on 495. But yeah, I drive east and then north. Whereas 495 is like cross through Marlboros and through and then go to like towards Boston up. 495 probably connects to well, a little bit north, right? Because connect to 93 and then from 93 back on 95 anyway. Yeah. I used to commute for school and I hated to drive 495. I despite 495 because people on 495 are crazy. Crazy in the morning, crazy in the afternoon, crazy, crazy, crazy. They don't drive. Like there is like no speed limit on 495. 495 speed limit does not exist. It's a theory. In theory, the speed limit is, I believe, 55. In theory, but I think the minimum speed limit, the lowest speed on 495 is 80. Is 80. That's the minimum speed on 495. And 495 does not have one of those guardrail, like the stone walls. Like if you scoot up, you hit the wall and you stop. 495 has this rounded down middle. So if you swerve off, you're going to fly. So you go down and then go up to the other side. You can end up on the other side. Basically, that's what it is. It's a crazy thing. Okay, 495 people does not drive like mass. Okay, 495 is not mass. I consider something like 93 is mass. 95 is mass. 90 is like rich mass. But 495 is I don't give a fuck. I'm going straight mass. That's like I need to get out or into mass. Mass. Right? People who's on 495 is not going anywhere on 495. It's not going in mass. People go on 495 so they can go to the next thing fast. Right? So like, oh, I'm driving here, but I need to get a 93, 495, boom. Right? Mass. Right? You know, you go on 45 so that you can go on 90, or you can go on 93, where you can go on Route 9, 16, all that stuff. You do that, you go on 495 and get on there and get the fuck out of it. Because it's not a normal driving place. Like, I wouldn't touch 495, even if that is the shortcut. I will go to the nearest 95 or the nearest 93 or the nearest 90. I will pay extra toll just so that I don't have to go on 495. In fact, 495 kind of is like a couple exit off 90. I would rather not do that. In fact, I will avoid 93. I will avoid 93. You know what 90? 90 is created to offset the traffic of 93. All right? 90 was created to offset the traffic on 93. If you don't want the traffic on 93, you pay so you can be on 90. Okay? But people still rather, like, people will save the 25 cents. It's literally 25 cents. From one stretch of 93 to the other stretch of 93, they will rather pay 25, not pay 25 cents and be stuck on the traffic on 93, where you'll use at least 25 cents worth of gas. Me, please charge me whatever so that I don't have to wait in traffic. This is why I live near 90, because I always want to jump on 90. I don't want to jump on 93. I really hate 95. Okay? I don't like Route 90. Route 20 is stupid. So... Oh, Route 16 is just like... Route 16 is literally Route 9. I don't know why they made a Route 16. And 95 is really 128, at least in Massachusetts. So, Route 2 is another dumb one. We'll do Route 2, and we'll do Route 28, Route 2A, and Route 2A is street with traffic light. Route 2 is a highway. But if you go Route 2 all the way to the end, you reach Alewife. And Alewife is double loop, going to more traffic lights. And then if you keep going, you go into the worst road you can ever find in Watertown. And then you get to Quincy. I mean, no, and then you get to Cambridge and then keep going down. But Route 2 is another dumb one. I hate that. Like you drive, all of a sudden you're at exit 60, you're like, what now? Well, it's a loop. Either be a left, be a right, be a middle. It's never the correct one for most people. All right. If you drive every day, yes, you know where you gotta bear because you're either getting off, you're going around towards the theater. Now it's like a Passport Plaza or something like that. It used to be a theater, and then to the three tall buildings over there. We call it the Three Incense because it's people who are low incomes living there and never leaves. They're so bad. They're so poor there that a Chinese restaurant will go broke. All right, there used to be a Chinese restaurant called Joy Luck. People are so cheap at Joy Luck, which is like the first restaurant that invented crab rangoon, actually went out of business. That's what it is. So yeah, that's Massachusetts for you. Summed it up in row. Okay, summed it up in row. Rows are weird, right? And then Massachusetts, we also have Soldiers Field Road, which is called a Storrow Drive. And then we right across from that is called a Memorial Drive. And guess what? Memorial Drive closes every weekend and every holiday. So if you want to go through Boston, just avoid Memorial Drive. Just go straight to Soldiers Field Road, Storrow Drive. It will never be closed. It'll never get stuck. But if you go Memorial Road, oh, good luck. Guess what? Today is a Sunday. It's all closed. Now you gotta ask, well, what if I need to turn around? If I go Soldiers Field Road, I need to turn around. So usually you'll go Memorial Drive and turn around and then turn around again so you can get to Route 90. But today is a Sunday. So, and it's let's say it's a holiday. You're screwed. So what happened? You go towards BU and turn around. So yeah. So it basically sums up Boston for you. Boston driving sucks. Yeah, Boston driving sucks. Like sometimes I much rather drive in New York than Boston. Even though New York has the worst traffic like ever. But it's a lot easier to navigate. It's just people double park, triple park, like quadruple park in New York. That's kind of annoying. But like it moves. It goes to places. It's straight. It's square. If you miss the street, to take the next one off, you're good. Massachusetts, no. If you screwed up a row, you screwed up a row. Don't come back. It's especially hard to navigate. If you ever go to some cigar shops in Boston, they are all in this, what I would call fuck you area. It's either an area of no parking whatsoever and one way, or in an area that's impossible to find because it's in the middle of nowhere. That's pretty much sums up Boston for cigar shops. The only easier ones to find is the one in Waltham. The one in Framingham is relatively easy to find, but the ones in Boston, don't even bother to try. The one in Watertown, you'll be lucky if there's parking spot. Okay, that cigar shop is right across from Boston Common near the corner. So if you walk by PF Chang's, is that turn corner. And that cigar shop, I don't know. Like it's pretty cool that they have their own opus. It's really cool about the history. The guys there are, well, the older people are cool. The younger people, I don't know why it's kind of like snobby. But that is like the last place I would think to get a cigar. To be honest with you, their shop has a very limited selection. Not and I'm not saying that it's a bad shop. It's a very limited selection, and obviously they don't have a lounge. They have chair. They have a chair. All right, and they have a couple chairs outside. So it's really not a lounge, and it's in Boston. So parking is like hell. You could park in a common parking lot, but you gotta walk like 20 minutes to get there. It's the last place I would say to such cigar shop lounge. You can buy cigar there, yes, but it's probably faster if you just order online. To be honest with you, than driving to Boston for that. Okay, it's a it. Boston's the place. Boston is the place that I don't like to go. I live in Massachusetts, but Boston is the place that I don't like to go. Only reason I'm going to Boston, grocery, grocery. All right, I'm waiting for my shop over here at the mall. They're opening another Chinese market, so I don't have to go to Boston. I don't like to go to Boston. Parking is hell. People is crazy. Traffic is bad. Toll is expensive, and parking is expensive. I don't really like to go to Boston. Not to mention, even if you take public transportation, it's not ideal. I don't know if you guys ever take public transportation in your area. For Massachusetts, it looks like going into a rat cage. All right, look, it feels like going into a rat cage and wait for a train that's never properly lubricated. Because you will never miss it. You'll know when the subway is coming because it goes the whole time. They was never properly lubricated. You're gonna hear every scratch, every ear killing noise that you can possibly get if you decide to take Boston public transit. It's never properly lubricated. And Quincy has the weirdest Asian market as well. Their H Mart looks like American supermarket. And they have this 80A Mart, which is kind of weird too. And they're like right a block away from each other. So there's Quincy for it. But good thing is they have giant parking lots. What happened to Eric? He quit cigar. Yeah, he pretty much quit cigar. You can probably find him in like video game channels, but he's not doing cigars. Carmen is like it's like how do I say that? A factory almost. There's food, there's restaurants, and there's shop, and there's like wholesale over there. Carmen is kind of crazy. Really, holy shit! Wow, you've been out for a long time. You've been out for a long time. He has been up and on for a couple months, 3 months maybe. Don't you have his Instagram and stuff like that? You can probably reach out to him. Yeah. You can try Instagram and reach out to him. But I don't think he does cigar anymore. He doesn't update his things anymore and changes. I think his YouTube will not update anymore. none of the things are happening for him now. So I don't know what he's doing. Oh, thanks. Yeah, like he kind of like done with cigars, and then he and I kind of have a small fallout, so he moved on. He said he moved. He probably did. He was gonna move while we're still talking. But I don't know if he moved after that. So he might. I mean, before that, he was thinking to buy a place. Um, no, his girlfriend did not like the spot that they're at. I don't know. You gotta ask him for details. Um, but he was gonna move back to. He was gonna move to Florida, which he didn't. Yeah, I can't speak for him, so you'll have to reach out to him. Yeah. The last thing I know about him was he bought a bunch of high end computer parts and was gonna do game streaming or something like that, but I wasn't sure. I still love Cigar, bro. So I always watch. How have you been? Not bad, not bad. We'll try something new. You know, I'm trying to open up some China public chat rooms for everybody. So we do have a public Discord now, right there. Slowly building that for everybody to chat afterwards or socialize when the show is not going on. Because there are times I'm just not here. In fact, next Saturday I'm not gonna be here for 10 days. So that's 2 Saturdays and 1 Wednesday I won't be here. So all right. So while I'm smoking, what are you guys smoking today? I just kind of remind that once I come back, we have the pairing show. The pairing, you gotta bring your pairing. You gotta let me know what's your best pairing. So we have that coming up, and then we have I can't remember what's the last one. Again, was it EPC? I think it was EPC. After that, yeah. Hello, our Presidente. How are you? Smoking Monte Cristo right now. Here we go. Monte Cristo. Yeah, I was saying I had a tough day today. My both arm hurts. My back hurts. I'm tired. I got blister on my hand. Because I was trying to run a leaf blower. Smoking a Trinidad. Which Trinidad? What? Okay. Al Presidente, when you say Trinidad or any of those like heritage names, it's hard to tell because you, of all the people I know, probably smoking a Cuban one. But when you say it, it sounds like a general one, but I'm pretty sure it's a Cuban one. There you go. Like, you know, I'm 90% sure when El Presidente names a heritage name, it's gotta be a Cuban, right? But yeah, I am rewarding myself for the hard work and things that incomplete with the ITS today. Not only because I have ITS, it's because I got replenished for some more inventory of ITS in my house. Because, like, okay, you guys know the ITS is obviously available in Little Guys. And so all the cigars over to at his place. And me here, I send cigars to shops for them to try, to people to help move these cigars. But I don't have all the cigar here, so I will run out. And when I run out, I don't have any ITS to smoke until I call up Michael and go, "Hey, Michael, I need some more boxes. Can you send it over?" and you have to wait for him to send it over. And when you send it over, the first thing is I gotta send some out again, and I didn't even get to try it myself or smoke it myself. So, rewarding myself will be like me taking a cigar from there and smoking it. I can't wait to use the AI glasses that I bought, the smart glasses, to kind of film a first person point of view of me smoking a cigar on my own time. Because I always just take a picture when I smoke on my own time. You guys never see me like really smoke on my own time unless I post a picture. So I got that so that I can kind of share a small snippet of me smoke on my own time, because obviously I can't film myself smoking, right? On the backyard or whatever. I literally had to set up a camera, look at me, press the thing, and then it's not it's not intuitive, it's not easy, it's not simple, and it kind of takes away that authentic smoking experience of me trying to smoke, rather than it will be like me trying to record myself smoking rather than me smoke and in the most genuine way possible. So I got the glasses and try to learn how to use it in the best way possible so I can send out or share my small snippets of me in the wild smoking or doing whatever. Um, the first place I probably film something like that will be on the cruise that I'm going on right now. But you guys know, every time I go on a cruise, I tell you guys whether or not the cruise is cigar friendly, and every time I try to do a different one. And this time is another new one. I heard that they don't have a cigar lounge, but they have nice smoking area. So I will go there and film it of how I smoke over there. And the next time I go back to the older ones that I used to be on that has cigar lounge, I'll probably show those again. It's a lot harder to film while you try to enjoy a cigar at the same time. I'm not trying to work, I'm trying to enjoy myself and try to provide some information of what I'm doing. So that will become my newest tool to do that. Right? So besides, if I'm enjoying something, you don't want to see my face. You want to see what I'm doing, not my face. So I get one of those things, and we'll find out. If it's gonna be a good tool to share snippets of my enjoyment daily kind of thing, or like my what I'm doing all the time. I don't know. It's like cigar vlog, but not really a vlog because it's only like a minute long. Is it tonight or tomorrow? Oh yeah, it's tonight, right? Sunday morning, right? I really absolutely hate daylight savings. I really absolutely don't see a reason for that. I really don't. Does anybody else like daylight savings? Anybody else like daylight saving? I absolutely despise daylight saving. I think it's the dumbest thing, right? From what I heard, well, from what I understand, it was that originally it was done so that the farmers can have more daylight to work, right? But wouldn't that be easier if all you change was the farmer's schedule? Right? Hey guys, November is coming. Starting tomorrow, the shift will start at 4 a.m. instead of 5. Right? I don't think like why they had to go, hey, everybody lives here. You gotta change your clock back. Um, I don't really need to wake up that early. If I want to wake up early, I'll go to sleep early. So what am I doing to change that time back? It's okay. We gotta have less sunlight either way. That's why we have this really, really important invention called the light bulbs. The light bulb keep everything bright. Okay? Yes, we have to drive at night. That's why we got a thing called the lamp. Right? because the way it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Stock market opens the same time everywhere. Okay, so we don't have to sit the stock. Okay, I get it. There is farmers agricultural futures. There's call and put, but that is not gonna change anything, right? Those people who want to trade stock market, those people who need to trade can get up an hour early. Not everybody trades. Keep in mind, and there are some states that doesn't have daylight saving and they're totally fine. It's not like, oh my God, my state does not have daylight savings, we're doomed. Stock market is over. I'm 1 hour late. Oh my God. Oh my God. Right? We don't need that. All the other countries don't have that thing. When I was in Taiwan, I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is. I remember I come to America all of a sudden one day. Oh, yeah, when you wake up tomorrow morning, you can sleep 1 extra hour. Why? Okay. In the summertime, I mean, not summertime, like when spring, yeah, school started, you gotta lose an hour. What? Yeah, school started, you gotta lose an hour. Now, 13-month calendar is, in theory, it makes sense, right? Every month will have the exact same amount of days. But hey, I don't understand. That daylight saving kind of crap is only here. And because of that, you gotta adjust your clock. You gotta adjust your time. You gotta adjust all your, like, you know, your microwave, your heater, your all that stuff you have to adjust. It's really annoying. It's really annoying. I hate it. I think that like everybody should talk to their representative and get rid of daylight saving. Like the whole America don't need daylight saving. Nowadays, everything can be run with lights. People can go to work. I mean, in fact, they're farmers. They go to work early anyway because they're hard worker. Okay, so they can go to work early. Don't bother me. I don't. You know, people who are retired. What are you doing with the daylight saving? Does daylight saving do you any good? No. Right? I want to work the same amount of time every day at the same time. I don't want to have to remember, hey, right now we're 12 hours away from where you work. Okay, so when I call Taiwan, I know right now is 9 a.m. because right now it's 9 p.m. Eastern time. Fine, good. All of a sudden I go, hey, it's not. Right now it's 9, they're 10. All right? I don't want to deal with that. But hey, your meeting's late. You're late by an hour. Why? Daylight savings. I think Europe also have daylight saving too. Europe, which is weird, but all the other Asian countries never have that kind of stuff. You know, you're in your time zone, and there's a reason why you're in a time zone because that sets time that way. I hate that. I absolutely hate it. Some places I believe they have went away with daylight saving. I thought they were one of them, but didn't get approved. I think I heard from someone like, you know, like somewhere in the midday you can be a central time or mountain time. So instead of daylight savings, they went to a different time zone. Just don't change your time. You don't have to change your time zone either. I don't get it. Like you went through all that stuff just to mess with people's time clock. Not only that, it messes with your physical well-being. Did you know that? If you keep changing your time zones, it's not good for your body. Because your body is falling off that cycle. You know, awake and sleep cycle all the time. It falls off of it by an hour. It's like getting jet lag twice a year. Getting jet lag twice a year. Now, I hate jet lag, so I don't sleep. And, you know, when I travel, I'll play very, very hard and then fall asleep in the morning. That gives me the same time zone as America, right? Because I fall asleep at night. But jet lag is not good for you. I don't know why people do that. You know, history is supposed to teach us the mistake we make, and daylight saving is one of them. One of them, really. I really don't see why farmers need to change their daylight, their time in order to work earlier. You can work earlier without changing your time. Does that make sense? You can go to work an hour early on a specific days of your trade and not bother anybody else. That's what I think. Not have to bother anybody else. Just all you have to do, go to work an hour early. Just change your shift. Like people do that, right? Oh, today you have your morning shift, your night shift, right? And then you have November shift. All right, here's a November to winter shift. Everybody starts an hour early. Fine. Fine. You go an hour early, you go home an hour early. Everybody else stay in the same time. In fact, you should be happy because you went to work early, you gotta leave earlier than anybody else. Where other people still slaving away at Starbucks, you as a farmer went home. And really, I think the farmer will still work when the sun goes down. They have to get shit done. Like when you're picking the grapes, certain grapes have to being picked during nighttime, like when the sun's not up. So nighttime. Yeah, smoking around Mexico. No, who smokes that? That's like a really horrible bundle. So, all right. Here's the thing, right? When we talk about cigars, hold on. From what I understand, is for that because the farmers needs daylight, so they need to save those daylight, in order to do that. You know, for business worker, for people in the office, you're in the office with lights. Why you got just because this today is snowy and cloudy, there's no sunlight, you're not gonna go to work because the night is too late. It can't see. Oh my god, I can't see. It's so dark. You know, my car's headlamp is not bright enough. I don't have like a high intensive HID lights, you know, and everything is in like 480p. I can't see. You still go to work. No, right? You still go to work. Daylight is no longer that important, right? You can at any given time you can get light. I don't like fluorescent. I like LED, even though it flashes all day. Drives you insane. You don't know you're looking at flashing, but you are looking at flashing. Yes, our LEDs are flashing. Right? So that's what I understand. But let's talk about cigars, right? I am not denouncing any cigar whatsoever. I just need people to understand what cigar we're talking about, right? There are some cigars I don't think should be classified as cigars because I with the FDA fights and all that stuff, I think we need to understand the difference between a premium cigar and tobacco rolled together. Okay. You know, I would, except I did smoke one good Gurkha. So like, you know, I can't denounce Gurkha anymore because there was one good Gurkha. Before I can say that, not a single Gurkha I smoked ever was good, but now there is one. Hey, call it whatever you want. But we need to understand, you know, the difference between a cigar and premium cigar. And I think majority of us knows that we are smoking premium cigars. And that's what the cigar companies are fighting for, is the premium cigars. And this is why there's a definition that was being established for premium cigars. And when you are someone that likes premium cigars, you really try to stay off cigars. Does that make sense? I think that's kind of confusing. All right. I like to smoke things that are handmade, long filler, and has nothing but cigar, nothing but tobacco in there. I don't care about the weight and stuff like that they talk about. And obviously the only things like a tree pectin or something like that. Okay, all I needed was not leftovers, not floor sweeping, single leaf cut into smaller slices, rolled together as a premium cigar. That hard work has done. I, and for that I stay away with anything that has flavor. All right, so anything that has flavor, I think I'm not smoking cigar anymore. All right, it's like drinking coffee, and then you put like 5,000 pumps of different syrup in there. You're not drinking coffee anymore. You're drinking syrup, using coffee as a base, right? It's like water, and you put syrup in there. You're not really drinking water anymore. You're drinking syrup that diluted with the water, right? So any cigar that has any non-natural flavor whatsoever that is added in, I don't call that cigar. I don't consider those cigars. All right, I consider those flavor that you are buying. I don't consider that cigar. I put that in the same category as vaping. All right, you don't like tobacco, you like flavor. That's chemical-y. Well, that is not normal, right? You really like strawberry, go eat strawberry, right? You really like cherry bomb, go eat cherry. Cherry tastes way better than cherry bomb, right? So, like when you are doing a flavor cigar, you are not smoking a cigar. In my opinion, you're not smoking cigar. You're not tasting the cigars. You're tasting whatever flavor they put in there, right? It's not that. You're not looking for the cigar. They can put on a piece of paper and has the same flavor and release it. You'll be fine with it. Um, what about Dunbarton? Saka has a line that has a floor. Now, sweet tip, I consider that as a assisting tool because that does go away. Like, you smoke it and then the sweet tip eventually wears off. So I don't like that, but I will be okay with that, right? Because that will go away. You're not really, it's just having, it's like almost like something to help you start. And then you smoke it and you'll be fine. Which Steve Saka line has a flavor? You mean what they call it aromatic cigars? I think aromatic cigars are natural. Aromatic, I think what they say was um, they use pipe tobacco, which does have some flavor, but they are not an infused flavor. They usually pipe tobacco has something that they put it together that fermented to that. So pipe tobacco is kind of natural. It's not flavored, supposedly. Now I don't like those either. Okay, I don't like those either. I think they smell great, but they're not really for me per se. But yeah, the things that you need to like any flavor cigar, I don't even think they are cigars. Like when somebody talk to me about flavor cigar, those are frowned of not frowned upon in majority of situations because that smell, that taste ruins all the other cigars, right? If you put flavor cigars in the same humidor as regular cigars, they ruins the flavor. So I think people need to understand there is cigar, there's bundles, which we know is leftover stuff. Um, um, you can't call that premium cigar. I mean, I wouldn't think you like leftover, but some people does. I mean, I do have routine cigars. but not those are not factory purchased leftovers. It's whatever they specifically have left and then shred it and then do it. It's kind of different. So I don't like those. I don't like, you know, if the cigar cannot tell you what the filler is made out of, then I don't think it's premium cigar. Right? If undisclosed is one thing, but not able to tell you is different. Not able to tell you is a big problem. So for me, if a cigar is not able to tell you, not undisclosed, but not able to tell you, is considered as not a premium cigar to me. All right, so I think when you're in this hobby, you should strive for premium cigar. Not, I can't tell you what that is. Could not smoke it, like plug, cannot smoke, or like just don't like it, cannot smoke. If it's plugged, you should go back to your store. Tell them it's plugged. So, but like, when somebody come in and ask me if I smoke this like bundle stuff that really don't know what's in there, and chances are I don't smoke it. Because I don't know what's in there. I much rather every single one I smoke is the same thing. Okay, when they can tell you what's in there, right? It means every batch probably have something different in there. Okay, because when they buy is a whole bag of mixture of tobaccos. It could be for any tobacco. It could be for anything, and they just mix it together. And what you're smoking is really the wrapper and whatever that's in there that burns, and it burns super quick. It burns super quick. I challenge anybody to say that those cigar will last you the same amount of time as a premium cigar. It does not. It does not. I smoke those things so quickly. I don't even know how fast I'm smoking. I feel like I'm going to marathon because those things don't burn long. They don't burn long. Why do I feel like someone's in there? Okay. They don't burn long. I'm a fast smoker. I can tell you guys for that's for sure. I'm a fast smoker. Most people say I just burn through a cigar. Okay. A lot of people, what people smoke for an hour, I probably smoke for 45 minutes. So if you give me a short filler bundle, especially Connecticut, I go through it in minutes. In minutes. They're not worth the penny that you pay for a lot of the time. A lot of the time they do. So, if you're in this hobby, all right, obviously, if you're in this hobby for a long time, you don't need anybody to tell you. But if you're new to this hobby, the difference between this $4 cigar and an $8 cigar is miles away. It's miles away. All right. I'm not saying it's like a 89 octane gasoline and an 87 octane gasoline. Not like that. That's like almost close. We're talking about something that you can enjoy for 15 minutes versus something that you can enjoy for an hour 15 for that $4 more. And you can actually know what you're tasting. You actually can train your taste bud. Yeah, you can actually learn about the cigar. There's craftsmanship in there, hopefully, and you can enjoy it. You know what you're buying. Every step is money, and that's what you're paying for. That's what you're paying for. So, if you gotta enjoy a cigar, go that little bit more distance. I'm not talking about you go like whole mile distance. Go a small distance, just so that you can enjoy a little bit more. It's usually worth it. Now, if you're buying a brand that specifically tailored towards a certain kind of people, You want to make sure that you're that certain kind of people, or else you'll be disappointed. When I say that, what I mean is go buy their most popular standard core line, right? for dumb button will be like Micarita or San Compromiso or Soba Mesa. Get one of those and you smoke it and see if you like that base note. All three of them will have the similarity. And then if you like those, then you go to their specialties like Lanceros, different higher price things. You might be able to handle that. Now, if you don't like those base ones, you're not gonna like their specialty. Does that make sense? So before you spend 20, 30, 40, $50 on certain brands, try their core line brands and see if you like it. Because like however they blend, every brand has this like unique taste that establish the brand. And once they establish brand with that unique taste, every cigar they release have a little bit of that signature. A little bit of that signature. So you can always find something familiar in a brand. Right? A lot of time people can smoke a cigar and go like that tastes like a punch. That tastes like a Casa Cuevas. That tastes like a Fuente. You know, they all have the signature in their cigars. So if you like their core, you'll find those signature in their specialty cigars. Thus, you'll probably like it. I'm not saying that you gotta like every single one of them, but at least you can find that similarity. Whether or not you like it. And the next thing is to know what tobacco you like. Not to a detail, but at least you gotta know, like, you know, if you like Dominican, it's gonna be woodsy, creamy, nutty. If you like Nicaraguan, it's gonna be earthy, charred, you know, chocolate, cocoa, right? If you like Sumatra or Indonesian, it's gonna be a little bit salty, a little bit nutty, leather kind of thing. If you like Ecuadorian is just like a easier way to create all the other places. Okay, Ecuadorian Habana, Ecuadorian Connecticut, and all the Ecuadorians basically, I can't create it over there. I create it for cheaper. All right, so it's gonna be a lesser version of what you like. Right? Once you have those, and if you like Honduras are woodsy and sweet majority of the time. If you put it right, you like Mexican, it's gotta be like danky. It's gotta be woodsy. It's gotta be like cocoa and coffee, right? I forgot to eat antihistamine today. So understand those, knowing what you like the signature of certain brand, will establish what you like. If you know what you like, then you won't have that problem. Majority of the time. We're not saying that there's no mistakes. I mean, I bought cigar based on whether or not it looks good. I will buy a cigar whether or not it looks good. If it looks good, I buy it. And a lot of time, that's a big mistake. That's a giant mistake. But I'll still get it. Because I think part of the cigar hobby is kind of try enough of them so that you can have a conversation about them and then share them. All right, try the cigar so you can have a conversation about the cigar and eventually come to a point where you can share them. I think that's the hobby, right? I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? In your definition, what is cigar hobby? What is the goal? What is the must done or must do for your cigar hobby? What do you do? Like, for me, is try the cigars, share the knowledge about cigars, talk about them, and share the cigars. So if you guys have some different definition, go ahead. Let me know. What do you think is your cigar hobby steps or what you need to do, right? Because let's say if your hobby is eating, what is that? You go out to eat, right? What is cigar hobby? For you, what is cigar hobby? Now, taking a picture of cigars kind of become like the part of that hobby, but I don't think it's unnecessary. You don't have to. People like to have a documentation of what they did, what they smoked. So really, taking a picture of your cigars is not it's not a must. It's not a must. But for me, that's what it is. I don't think there is a other definition for that. Simple. Try them, talk about them, share them. That's pretty much it. Not crazy amount of things to do. It's supposed to be a very relaxing thing. You talk to about it with your friends. You talk to it with a stranger. You make new friends, and either you continue to do that or you reach it to a point where this hobby dies for you. I was talking to Val last night. I was talking about how what I realized is that some people life changes, and from that life change, people will fall off cigar. If life makes you make choices, if life is giving you choices, it's saying that either this or cigar. A lot of time you'll say, I'm gonna give up cigars. And a lot of people would. Okay. So cigar is one of those things that I see people over time, after a few years, they realize they no longer need that expense, they no longer have time for it, and they will just drop cigars. And so for Shadow Smoke Legion, we have phrases, not phrases, phases of enthusiasm. All right. Our best time in the Legion was actually during COVID when everybody had time. We have the most member, we had most engagement. And that's during COVID. Because everybody have time. Everybody have time. And after COVID, people start to like dropping off and dying down as it goes. Why? Because you had to go back to work. Now you have to start thinking about expenses. Now you got to start want to have time, your new job and all that stuff. People start drop off that hobby. And throughout the 7-8 years that the Legion has been here, we've seen a lot of original people that is no longer in cigars, right? No longer in cigars. That's just how it is. Nobody will stay in the hobby forever if life is making you make that choice. And I think cigar is quite expensive choice. Okay, cigar is quite expensive choice. What I mean by that, let's say average person smoke one cigar a day. That's fair, right? One cigar a day. That is 365 cigars. Right? 365 cigars. Let's say if each cigar is $10 on average, $3,650 out of your pocket per year. That's quite a bit. That pays for what? That pays for your home premium. That will pay for your home insurance premium, right? That will pay for your car tax. That will pay for your car insurance. So you will literally pay for your home insurance and car insurance for a whole year. Over one cigar a day. One cigar a day. Think about that. That's quite of a choice. And for me, someone like me, once I sit down, it's 3 to 5 cigars. Right? 3 to 5 cigars. That's 5 times that. 5 times 3,000 is 15,000. So I spend $15,000 just to keep this hobby at the minimum. Think about that. 15,000 to some people, not saying everybody, some people, is half their salary. It's almost what they net in a year. So it's an expensive hobby. I'm not saying that it's cheap. It's an expensive hobby. So a lot of people will fall off of it. So what I'm saying is that while you're at it, enjoy the maximum amount of it, because eventually you might just drop off. You might just like, okay, I'm done. Because it's expensive. Cigar wasn't talking much about friends in school or my time as much as my great uncle would let me try them around 1974. It wasn't until the early 90s when booms again since the 60s. You know, it wasn't that it didn't boom. It's that the people who's doing it doesn't come out and socialize about that. The people that you know that smoke cigars continue to smoke cigars. They only get more, right? It only gets more. It's not the boom. It's that it's that social media has made it more apparent to other people, and the people who used to smoke are usually in the lounge, and you can't enter the lounge, so you're not gonna know about it, right? When you're a youth, you're not gonna be able to know about it until you got to a point where you can afford them. All right. So this is you know, there is an expense associated with this hobby, and in comparison, this hobby is as expensive as working on cars. It's like buying car part, right? It's like buying car part. You probably spend, for someone that has a used car, probably spend about a couple $1,000 working on your car. Maintenance, change parts that need to be replaced, and all that stuff, a couple $1,000. And cigar is that. So when it comes to choices, for a lot of people at the end, like, you know, after 5 or 6 years of cigar journey, they'll be like, you know what, I could really use that extra $3,000-4,000 that I spent on cigars. So I'm not gonna smoke cigar anymore. I'm done. Right? So they have those. And there's a lot of them, actually. There's a lot of them that will eventually go, you know, cigar's not for me. Hey, Dibbers, cigar's not for me, right? Some people will say that because it is costly. Especially if you have kids. Kids in high school, no big deal, right? Basic school needs and stuff like that. But kids in college, now you have to choose. Do you pay the tuition or do you pay for cigars? Think about that, right? Because like average state school will cost you about $10,000-15,000 a year, right? State university, $10,000-15,000. I am. I will be there for a little bit. Right? $10,000-15,000, and compares to that, that's like me giving out cigars. My regular minimum amount of smoking cigars. So my minimum amount of smoking can pay for a whole year of tuition. So simply me not smoking for 4 years, my kid will go through college, in state college. Not that I have a kid. I don't have a kid. But you know what I'm saying? People will choose. And they'll find a reason to not smoke. You know what I'm saying? It does happen. So, yeah, I would say one of those thing about hobby is that you got to enjoy it to the full extent that you can while you can. And when you finally give up on it, you have nothing to left behind. You're like, oh, okay, I'll try everything about it. I know what to do. And I've tried my good share of it. I'm done. Well, you know, you could be done for an extra amount of time and go back to it. You know, there is nothing wrong with having hundreds of cigars and keep it the way it is until you eventually go back. I know a lot of people that when they're done with the cigars, they get rid of it, and then you end up spending more when you go back to it. I don't know, like you don't know if you ever gotta go back, all right? You never know whether or not you ever gotta go back to cigars. But if you get rid of it by the time you go back, it'll cost you more. It'll cost you more. I was kind of surprised. Like I was kind of surprised to find out that, like, when I finally found out that Eric got rid of his cigars, he only had 400 something cigars. He didn't have a lot of cigars. Now, for other people, it's like 400 something cigars is a lot. I think majority of you, if you go back to count how much cigar you have, you're very close. you're a few hundred cigars in. You're very close to 400. So I was kind of surprised that you only have 400. Because his humor was relatively full. But I only have 400. Surprising. But I think I have more than 400 just on the floor alone. Right? Because every 5 boxes I have on the floor is 100. So I got way more than 5 boxes on the floor. Way more than 5 boxes on the floor. Just on the floor, I have a few hundred. And continues to build. Which talks about the raffle for the end of year. I think we'll still have a raffle. I just have to see how many people decide to do the raffle. And I had to figure out how people is gonna pay for the raffle tickets. So simply speak, right? To give away a humidor, one of the not the gold one, but the printed one, it costs $50 to ship. So we need at least 5 players to give away one humidor because shipping. And to ship a ashtray, it will take at least 2 players to ship an ashtray. So we will have 1 humidor for prizes and 1 ashtray for prizes. I'll put a couple cigar packs for prizes. And then we just had to figure out how many people are playing. But in my usual case in the past years is that I keep adding prizes as there's more people play, and in there everybody wins something. I think this year we'll have like kind of winner take a few, or winner take one kind of thing, but not everybody's gonna win. Kind of structure makes it easier because I didn't have you guys know this year we spent majority of time on the ITS cigars and then save up a lot of stuff for everybody to win. But so we can still have a small game, small raffle, and for bigger prices because they're expensive. So we can still play that. Okay, we can still do that. How we got? Which way do you guys prefer? Like when you guys play raffle for other people, do you guys use PayPal or something like that? Like, how does that work? Because in the Legion, what we usually do is just like Venmo and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's something that you guys want to play through, or you want to do PayPal, and how do you guys usually do it on other websites? Well, other shows. I don't know. Other shows. Anybody? No. Well, once you guys figure out, let me know. So I can kind of put in consideration because usually in the past we always doing the for the just the Legion, and last year obviously we did it through Super Chat and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys would rather do that because it's kind of like a process, and I don't know if that's what you guys want to do or is it easier. I don't know because I can't put up a list when you guys do it through the Super Chat. Well, I can test one. I can test a humidor. but we need to have enough people, right? So what I can do is we can do a, let me see, Saturday after Black Friday is the what? The what's Black Friday this year? It's the 28th. So for the 29th, what we can do is if we have enough people, so invite your friends to come to the show, right? If we got enough people, we can do a test giveaway based on Super Chat. If you guys want to do that. So what we'll do is I'll have my mini fee keep up all the Super Chat. And then we'll randomly choose a person to give away a humidor, something like that. We could. How about that? How about that? So once like I put up one of those, I don't know, like I've seen people put up like a meter of how much super chat has been done, and once the super chat reach to the goal, we'll give something away. Every time you reach the goal, we'll give something away. We can do that. So let me talk to the people that's usually in the panel, and then we can run something like that. If that's what you want to do. So we're good? I think today, Val is in a celebration. For those people asking, he's in a celebration. I think that Rick is doing a streaming of some sort. He probably is. And Joey is not on today. So today, I don't know. Some people had an early smoke today, so they had some sports earlier today. So today is kind of a solo show, which I think is relatively relaxing for me because I'm talking about whatever I want to talk about. And that's usually how it was. Like, back in the day, that's how it was. I just talk about whatever I want to talk about and one topic to another. So, which is for me, it was relaxing. I just like, talking about things I think about, things I have thought of. Back in the day, that's how we came out with ideas. Is when I talk about ideas, you guys eventually give me more ideas. And that's how I was able to, I guess, create Legion it is today. But yeah, I think I'll slowly go towards that. Legion is going to downsize a little bit. I feel like at certain point, like I was talking about, when people kind of no longer in the hobby, not only they're not in the hobby, then they're not paying attention to friends that they made in the hobby or whatever. They feel like, because I'm not smoking, I can't talk to those people. That kind of feel. So they kind of eventually just drop off and forgot they even have an account or forgot they even have a membership, stuff like that. So after the end of this year, I had decided to downsize the Legion membership. So the actual members of the Legion will downsize. We're gonna start kicking people out for not being active, not being around. Haven't been saying anything for years. That's what I usually gauge for. And then this is the reason why I opened the public server, so that people who's no longer Legion, if they feel like it, they can still go to their chat with Legion members. People can still interact, right? You don't need a membership in the Legion in order to find new friends. You don't need a Legion member in order to communicate about cigars. So I think at a certain point, the membership kind of hinders that a little bit. And this is why I want to have a public chat so that we can start chatting with people who's outside the Legion, who are like to communicate, and maybe eventually that they want to be a member or not, and that's where we're going with that. This cigar is gonna last me almost 2 hours. So the few cigars that I'll be doing review on, I just did the Tommy Bahama one, the Trinidad, which I will release the review when I went on traveling. And I also have the Sangre de Toro. I'll probably just do a review on that one separately. And I still have the, what's it called, a devil crab. The devil crab I still had to do a review on. The devil crab I still had to do a review on. And what I have this? And I just bought the Battleborn, which I had to do a review on. That's pretty much it for now. For now. And I still had to go get the Rare Pink Black Panther. That one I want to do a review on. I pre-ordered the Placencia Year of the Horse. That will do a review on. And then we'll do also Davidoff when it comes out. Now, right now, the Davidoff one, I don't know. YouTube might be a reception or whatnot. But if you remember, it's always gonna be Wednesday and Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. It's always the same time. It's always the same time. 9 p.m. Eastern time, Wednesday, Saturday. So if I'm not gonna be on, I tell you guys ahead of time I'm not gonna be on. 9 p.m. Eastern time. You can always go to the public chat room and ask if there's gonna be a show tonight, and people will let you know. If I'm not gonna be on, usually I post a notification that I'm not gonna be on. Okay. So the Davidoff one I have not ordered yet because I have not decided what version I want. I'm not sure if I want a regular Poderejo or do I want a torpedo, which is really like a pyramid than a torpedo. That's the thing I'm deciding on right now. Which one I'm gonna get. It's not cheap in comparison. Used to be, I remember they used to be like $30 something, $40. Now it's $65 a piece. $65 a piece for a box of 10. I think eventually I will get it. I just wanted to see when it released how I feel about it. Do I want to get a single or do I want to get a box? I don't know. It's kind of nice to have box because every year they have a different design box. But I don't want to get into a habit of getting all the horses or getting all the dragon again and stuff like that. That dragon was expensive. When we tried to smoke every single dragon out there, that was expensive. So yeah, we have those. We have that problem right now. And I think the Villager is releasing one. What's the other brand that was releasing one? Bring up the list. Yeah, Vega Fina is having one too. Vega Fina. I don't know how many I'm gonna get, to be honest with you. Villager, Vega Fina, Oliva, that one I definitely know I'm not gonna be able to get because I wasn't able to get the dragon one that I wanted. So I'm gonna assume that I'm not gonna be able to get it. Maya Selva is going to have one as well. Yeah, they kind of add up. They kind of add up. I don't think I'm gonna get every single one of them. I'm surprised Gurkha didn't decide to release one for the year. I don't think Gurkha want to do the same thing. What a day. So everybody still on their original cigar? I'm trying to let this cigar last until the end of the show so that when I go to the public chat room, I'm lighting up on a different one. Because, you know, this wouldn't last the entire chat. But I'll be there about an hour. So it'll be about a cigar. Use the cigar to gauge time. While I'm at it, I should remind everybody for more information about ITS and stuff like that, you can check our website. Our website does have closing, not hats, closing and stuff, and information about the swag that has to do with ITS, including but not limited to the ashtray, the humidors, the T-shirt I was giving out. I think little guys still have T-shirts. If you buy a box, they can still give you a T-shirt. What else? Stickers they usually include anyway. I did make some whiskey glasses, but that's just for the event. I no longer have those. I have few for myself to use. But I don't know. If you guys still, people who's collecting ITS, all right? If you have an idea of what you really want to collect as part of your ITS collection, reach out to me and let me know what you're looking for. If there's enough people asking me for the same thing, I'll try to make them. The best part about today and how things are operating is that because I'm not a store, I'm not that hard to get hold of, right? If you send me a message on Instagram and stuff like that, I can usually respond. I can usually provide feedback for whatever you're asking. So don't feel like you can't reach out to me or something like that. I think even as other YouTubers, they're not that hard to reach. I've tried to ping other YouTubers before, and they reach by right away. So it's not that hard to get a feedback. To do a feedback. So that's pretty much that. Any questions? Like, do I have any questions for the day? Do I have any questions? Kenny, do you have any questions about cigars that we can talk about? Because usually when I have a guest on, I can kind of wait. Their feedback takes a few minutes. So that kind of kills a few minutes. But right now, I'm pretty much announced everything I can talk about today. Unless you guys want to listen to me out just talking about cigars. I'm just talking about cigars. There are a few cigars I'm still looking to see if there's end of the year releases that is good for trying out, good for smoking, good looking. I know Hoya is releasing their Cuatro Cinco, but I'm never a big fan about that. So like when I saw it, I was like, they're releasing that again. I am thinking about that crazy Cohiba $250 cigar C8. I don't know what makes that cigar $250, to be honest with you. 2021 they had it. I didn't get it back then. I don't get it today. I don't understand it today. I don't understand it today. 10 count briefcase costs $5,000. That was in 2021. So how many? 2, 4, 6, 8. Was it 16 count? It's a 16 count box. $250 a stick. That's $4,000 for that cigar. $4,000 for a leaf. Let's see, 2018. Okay, so the CA will be 7x50 Churchill. Uses 2018 Jalapa, so that's 7 or 8 years. 7 years. And Connecticut broadleaf from 2021, 4 years. And 3 filler, Brazilian Matafina, that is 3 years old. And Esteli, that's 4 years old. And Jalapa, that's 3 years old. So It's not crazy tobacco. I don't know why it costs $250. I mean, the decoration, sure, the presentation is crazy, but you're talking about $4,000. $4,000 for that container. I used to enjoy Dominican cigar the best, but Nicaraguan booming nowadays. What year did when it began to be more wanted? It's not that the Dominican was any more demand than Nicaragua. In fact, I think Nicaraguan tobacco was always in more demand. What it is that you have smoked long enough where the Dominican flavor is no longer enough to fill your needs. Because Dominican cigars tend to have a more linear flavors, right? Woodiness, creaminess. Some has sweetness. Some has leather. Some has nuttiness. But it's not a very wide, strong pellet. It's a very light pellet. So if you smoke long enough and all of a sudden you smoke a Nicaraguan that was good, you start to sway towards the darker cigars. And Nicaraguan cigars that tend to be darker, tend to have more transition and flavor to play with. Um, that's why a lot of Dominican cigars still have Nicaraguan in there. Like the filler has Nicaraguan to give it more depth, to give it more flavor. So Nicaraguan was always the better choice in terms of darker flavor, to more flavor. And Dominicans tend to have a lack of profiles that you can choose from. So you as a transition, as a proper growth in the cigar smoking, you are always gotta turn to a darker cigar as you go. And as you go darker, you're more likely to have some Nicaraguan, broadly for Mexican San Andreas, in your profile. And that tend to kind of sway away from Dominican because Dominican is a very neutral base. Dominican is just a better version of Connecticut. All right. And I think Connecticut was created out of a need. When someone just started, if you go Dominican, you go straight to median profile. But if you start with Connecticut, you have a mild profile to start. So you progression will be Connecticut, Dominican, and then more of a Maduro, so Nicaraguan broadleaf and Mexican San Andreas profile as you move forward. That's why you feel like they're like nowadays more wanted. It's really not. It's that you have started searching for those, and you realize that's the case. Because AJ always been Nicaraguan, and AJ used to make all the other brands. You'll find cigars say blah, 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 and the bottom has a second band that's made by AJ or by AJ Fernandez. So Nicaraguan has always been out there. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question? It's like I used to drive Honda Civic and Japanese car was everywhere. But now I started to drive Volkswagen. And I just start to see more and more people buy BMW, Volkswagen, German cars, Porsches everywhere on the street. X5, BMW X5, X3, X1s are everywhere on the street. When did they start become more popular? They didn't. It's that you didn't notice it. You don't look at them because that's not where you are at. When you drive your Civic, you gotta notice more Civic on the street. When you drive a BMW, you gotta realize there's more BMW on the street. That's just how it is. Believe it or not, like you can think that you're driving a real car, but once you drive that car, you notice more of that car on the street. And cigars the same way. Once you start smoking certain cigars, you realize that there are more people smoking that cigar than you think. Does that answer your question? And Plasencia has been making cigar forever. Well, not forever, but they've been producing Nicaraguan tobacco forever. So That's how it works. When you're not doing certain things, you don't find that niche until you do. In other words, like say you don't smoke pipe. Once you start to get into pipe, you start to buying stuff for pipe, you realize a lot of people actually smoke pipe. Because if there's no market, you're not gonna find those things. Once you find the market, you find all the people that's in that market. Right? If you don't play golf, it's like, I don't have anybody near me that plays golf. But once you start playing golf, it's like, whoa, the golf course is packed all the time. Plenty of people playing golf. That's usually the case. Long live, are you still on? Just wondering. I wonder who's still on right now. Because mine does shows a number, and that number never matched the number that I have off the screen. There's another screen that has a different number. So I'm trying to figure out who's where. Because I really want to change cigar. I'm done. But like, I got another 15 minutes. So if there's any questions I can answer, I'd love to answer it. It take me 15 minutes to answer, so be it. It's like what I was saying earlier, but the wrong word people did smoke back. Damn, but it was the older people and the younger ones didn't. It's like what I was saying earlier, but the wrong words. People did smoke it back then, but it was the older people, the younger one didn't. The younger ones didn't. Now, you know, here's the thing, right? The younger people, don't really smoke cigars. I think I can safely say that the younger people don't really smoke cigars. When you are 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, you really don't smoke that much cigars. You'll choose, if you do, you'll choose whatever that's cheapest to you. Because financially, it's not a expense that you want to deal with, right? Let's say you only smoke cigar on a weekend. That's 2 cigars, right? 2 cigars will cost you between $20 to $40. That $20 to $40 for a 20-something-year-old, it's a night of drinking beer. It's a night of hanging out. It's a video game. It's a movie. So a lot of time they will choose that over cigars. So when you're smoking cigars, I would think that people who are smoking cigars are somewhat financially stable, which means they are in their late 20s, early 30s, and onwards. So if you are looking for younger people that smoking crazy cigars, they have to start very early, like 25, 26. That means that's what they choose financially. So that person either gotta be a loner, which people who stays at home a lot of time and just go smoke cigar because all their expense go to cigars, or someone who's well off. Now, someone who's well off is gonna try all kind of different cigars, so eventually they'll get there. Someone who sits at home is gotta spend their time working on cigars, so there, right? So it's not like they don't exist. It's that they are very rare breed because at that age, 20s, you wouldn't want to buy some expensive cigars. And now most Nicaraguan cigars are 13 and up. If you're buying Plasencia, you're looking at 18, right? AJ is about $13. So it's between that or $8 Oliva. You'll probably go towards Oliva, Ashton's, Rocky Patel. Rocky Patel has Nicaraguans too. And Romeo and Julieta, which is also Dominican, I think. A lot of them. So you're gonna see younger age people go towards Dominican more because number one, they're lighter, they're easier to consume, and number two, they're cheaper. That's why I was calling the cigar boom, but the wrong way. It was not the cigar, but the age of the smoker in the 90s. I noticed that it was the 20s. They were 20s, and unlike the 80s, where you hardly see that age, the humidor. I noticed was in their 20s. I'm like, yeah. Now, if you're 80s, you're not gonna find a lot of people in the 80s. I think that's the right way to say it. I'm not trying to say old people don't deserve to go to cigars or something like that. I'm trying to say that when you're in the 80s, you have a limited budget plus the limited of ability to travel. Oh, 1980s? I don't know. I was born in 1982. So I can tell you that at the time, a lot of people has a very low income, so they are not into cigars. I mean, when I was born, I only see people smoke cigarette. There was a cigarette boom between late 80s all the way to early mid 90s until it started to be like a frowned upon thing. 1980s, cigarette was very, very popular. Okay, so you'll see more people smoking cigarette because they are much cheaper. Cigarettes are super cheap, and they were in everything. They were in movies, TV shows, stuff like that. So younger people, or more people, will be smoking cigarettes rather than cigars because they're way cheaper. So I think that's what it is. It's that majority of people were smoking cigarettes than cigars because they're way cheaper, and they were acceptable in most places at the time. 1980s, you can smoke anywhere. You can smoke at work, right? 1980s, you can smoke in a restaurant. You can smoke on an airplane, right? 1980s, you can smoke anywhere. So I don't think anybody's got to bring out a cigar. They bring cigarettes. It's a lot easier. I think that's what it is. And the late 90s into 2000s, that's such a phase out. I remember going to Howard Johnson getting cigarettes out of a mark. Okay. So yeah, when cigarette become more frowned upon, cigar kind of revived a little bit. I think that's what it is. Cigar kind of revived a little bit when cigarettes was frowned upon, and cigar used the benefit of, hey, cigar is more healthier than cigarette, which kind of is, for people to get back to cigars. But cigar is still more expensive. Now, as the cigarette getting more and more expensive, all the tax being packed on, cigarettes getting more. I remember cigarette used to be like $3 a box, and now it's like $10 a box, $12 a box. So they have kind of balanced out that price difference, where cigars start to make a comeback because of price. Because of price. Now, a lot of youth people use vape because vape is super cheap. You buy those veil of thing you can do, like you can smoke all week, and it's like $5, $10, $15, $20. And I think price plays a lot of, has a lot of play in there. Price has a lot of thing that has to do with that. So until that was kind of phased out, vape is kind of start to phase out, cigar kind of make a comeback too. So you have the cigarettes that was kind of like saturating the entire market. And then when you have the late 90s, anti-cigarettes, all the educational stuff where every school start to tell you that tobacco is bad for you. That's when the cigarettes start to die out a little bit. People still do, but cigar become an alternative. Now, at the time, cigar also makes cigarillos, and people were buying cigarillos instead of cigarettes because they were not taxed as a cigarette. But that kind of got phased away too. That kind of got phased away too. Okay. So this is what I'm gonna do. I got 8 minutes. I got 6 minutes, and I really got nothing to announce now. So I'm just gonna end this 6 minutes early, and I'm gonna jump over to Discord. So if you want to continue to chat with me, where I can have a feedback to what you say, go to this particular Discord, and I will see you guys in the Temple of Voice. It's free to join. I will be there for an hour or so, and I will see you guys there. All right. So today, thank you for everybody who sits over here to listen to me rambling on for an hour or 2 hours. And I will see you guys in the Temple of Voice. Okay. Discord address right here. Not very hard. Just join. I'll be right there. Okay. So for those other people who's not going, have a good night. And I will see you guys next Wednesday. Bye, guys.